So something lined through Belle Plaine on Main 2.
All right. We are live. Welcome to Trackside with Tom. I apologize for starting a little bit late today. We are here with Patrick Shea and Robert Thompson are my co-hosts today. Patrick and Robert, if you guys want to say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Do a little sound check here, make sure everybody can be heard effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we're starting a little bit late today is actually because I was up in Guttenberg today. And if you look at it, I've got the stream pulled up. We have the logos for the Guttenberg Chamber of Commerce and the city of Guttenberg now. And we're obviously very happy to have them on board as our hosts today. And then additionally, we have the Guttenberg Chamber of Commerce, who has also helped support this webcam in its existence there in Guttenberg now. When I was looking at it earlier, I saw a northbound coal train that was going through Dubuque Junction. And so I was really hoping that we would catch that coal train here this morning. I don't think he's already been through Guttenberg yet. This is basically about the earliest that I would have expected him to be here, is just about now. But what you're going to find out is that we have a scanner radio feed here in Guttenberg. And we should be able to pick up the defect detector, which is a mile away in downtown. And then we also have radio-controlled switches up at Eckerd's that we may be able to hear the crew tone up as they are approaching the Eckerd's siding. So, I know that Patrick and Robert have some interesting things to share with us today. One of the things I did want to point out is that we apparently have a train that is stopped and blocking some crossings in Greeley right now. I'm going to switch over to the North Greeley webcam if I can actually find, here it is. And we definitely have a train that is stopped at the North Greeley webcam. And since he's stopped there, he's been stopped here for over an hour apparently. We're going to see if we can go back and at least find his head end power. Let's see here. Oh, I found it. Look at that. He is stopped there. He is not even moving very fast when he went across the crossing. And what have we got here? A couple of GEs, it looks like, leading. And some I'm not sure if those don't really look like steel coils. Have you ever seen those, that type of like a tube load before? Robert or Patrick?
I have not, but yeah, I don't know. Those don't quite look like coils, so I'm not sure what.
No, and the coils are usually covered.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's all kinds of interesting things. There's flat cars with these low bulkheads on them. That's something kind of unique. Got some SSW bulkhead flats. Not exactly something you see every day. Byproduct of the Southern Pacific merger with the UP. Center beam flat car, a couple of those. Oh yeah, I can hear him setting up his brakes now. He's definitely dragging them down to a stop. And I don't know if we're necessarily going to get an answer to any of this, but I definitely wanted to... Oh, steel wire. Apparently that's what was in those gondolas. So anyway, this guy is stopped here. And it looks like this is all we're going to see. So we might have to check back on this later if this guy actually gets going again. Oh, we need to... Apparently I need to turn up your volume, Patrick and Robert. Do you want to... Here, let me pull up my board here. Guys, give me another sound check.
Hello. Hello. Now, Tom, maybe, because I've noticed this in some of the other, like, streams that I've gone back and rewatched, that the stream audio from the webcams is kind of loud, so maybe if you could turn down whatever audio is coming out of your webcams, that might help.
Yeah, and I can turn down this volume a little bit also. I have noticed these cameras in Greeley, we definitely appreciate having them on board here. They seem to pick up a lot of ambient noise. So, all right, well, this guy is clearly stopped, and if we skip ahead to live, we're going to see literally the exact same train sitting in the same position with just a different angle of the sun shining on those center beam flats. So we may come back to this later if he ends up moving at some point. I would appreciate if somebody would stay on that Guttenberg camera, because I want to check out that loaded coal train if he makes it by the camera here in the next hour. Definitely want to check that one out. And Guttenberg. Oh, the last thing I was going to note about Guttenberg, when I programmed this in, I put in channel 66 for the BNSF, and I also put in channel 84 to monitor the CP. So we're going to try this for a while and see how many people, how good a reception we get from across the river. There is a defect detector that's just a couple miles upstream from Guttenberg. It's at Glen Haven on the Wisconsin side. So we'll have to see if we can pick that up with the site here in Guttenberg. And then this is also going to be streamed out to Broadcastify as well.
It looks like we just had a westbound through Cedar Falls Junction.
All right. Well, let's go check that out because, I mean, I feel like some ice cream, don't you? It's a pretty hot day out.
I would not mind.
Ice cream is always a good plan.
Yeah, I don't think the temperature does not have any effect on if I eat ice cream or not. I will go eat ice cream in the middle of winter. I don't care.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look back here at our westbound. Oh, come on. 2 CSX motors. And do you think this is an early 571 heading west?
No, so I saw this same cam. It passed through Dubuque this morning, the same train. So this is probably a G, I don't know, 889. I don't really know the symbols up there, but
yeah,
it came from Chicago, definitely.
Okay, so a unit grain train going west is the moral of the story here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it would make sense. It's got a lot of CN system hoppers in here as well. There's an IC. Yep, empty grain train. Thank you. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate that. If anybody happens to know the destination of the empty grain train, you could certainly pipe in with that. So thank you everyone for checking in today. I appreciate everyone logging in on this Friday afternoon. And we're watching a westbound go by Cedar Falls Junction. And as we were talking about the ice cream before, if you ever need a place to sit and eat some ice cream and watch some trains go by, the Cedar City Creamery is our host here in Cedar Falls. And they're a fantastic place to go and accomplish both of those objectives at the same time. So yeah, it looks like, I mean, this is kind of a combination, right, of private hoppers and, ooh, there's an old ICG hopper. That one had GTW reporting marks on it. Definitely some interesting stuff. Do you think this guy's going to get by Iowa Falls before our hour is up? Any predictions?
If it's passing, or if it just passed Cedar Falls an hour ago, I don't really know how long it would take a train to go from...
It just passed Cedar Falls 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, but how long would it take for a train to get to Iowa Falls there from Cedar Falls?
Right. Well, here's what I can tell you. This is at milepost 282. And Mills Tower is milepost 325. And it's 50 mile an hour track. So if he doesn't have any meets to make, theoretically, he should be... He could make it out to Iowa Falls in about an hour. Yep.
That'd be cool.
I am looking actually at the Waterloo sub ATCS right now, and it looks like there's a UP train in the siding at at Argonne, and there's a northbound request across the diamond as well. So there may be something out there meeting the local, running by on the main line, but nothing is lined up east or west at on the Waterloo sub right now. They haven't lined them up that far out. You know, I suppose also it could be a New Hartford grain train. It might not even make it out to Iowa Falls. Yeah. That is also a possibility. So, yeah, just over an hour from Cedar Falls to Iowa Falls. Yes, so Tyler helps keep the logs, Kansas train videos. He's in the comments here. He helps keep the logs for Mills Tower, Manly. He helps keep up the, him and Brian Loggy help keep up the Cedar Falls log as well. So, one of the things that I actually wanted to touch on today is, you know, at Steel Highway here, we depend on a lot of volunteers to help keep up train logs, to do moderating. And so, you know, you guys helping me co-host this show, you guys are volunteers as well. And so I do feel like we need to do like a volunteer appreciation day and just thank everybody who helps make this place work.
Hey, Tom, I think Amtrak's about to come into Sedalia if you want to hop over to there.
Let's do that. Absolutely. Where is Sedalia? So yeah, it takes a lot to keep this all running. It takes volunteers, and the gates are coming down. It takes host sites. It takes volunteers to help run the channel. It takes people submitting photos to make the magazine work. And we have Amtrak approaching in Sedalia, Missouri. So this looks like a different train set from what we've seen recently in Sedalia on the River Runner service. There are 3 Amfleet cars here in the middle, but that head-end car, that was something, what are those called? I'm losing the name of it now.
Horizons.
Yeah, the Horizon car, there you go. And then I'm guessing we're going to see 3 baggage cars on the rear, or maybe 4 even.
Mm-hmm.
Usually these seem to run with 4 coaches and 3 baggage cars, and then a locomotive, which means that 32 axles. And 311 is departing westbound.
Very quick stop there.
No kidding. So I wonder if the requirement, the minimum for the UP on this sub is the 30 axles or 32 axles. Because I believe that's the reason that they have those extra baggage cars on the rear.
Mm-hmm.
Not a real train next. Wow, Jeeper Preacher. Jeeper is another volunteer. He helps us keep up the East Dubuque and Trempealeau logs. Him and Josiah work on those 2 logs. So thank you for your efforts there, Jeeper. But not a real train. Wow.
I think that Amtrak we could consider a real train.
Yeah.
What number Amtrak? This is 311 westbound. All right, and Amtrak has departed. Does anybody want to look up number 8? And see if he's anywhere near Ottumwa? Because the next thing I want to talk about is our brand new webcam in Ottumwa, Iowa.
The 6 went through Ottumwa.
Oh, the 6, excuse me. Yeah, number 8 is all right.
It went through Ottumwa at 10:20 a.m. But, that's 6. 6 and 5 are what run. That's the Zephyr down there.
Yep, my apologies.
10:20 if you want to go back and find it.
Yep, 7 and 8 are the Southwest Chief. No, 7 and 8 are the Empire Builder.
Yes.
Yeah, 5 and 6 are the Zephyr. Wow, I'm all kinds of turned around here. All right, let's go back and find this morning's eastbound California Zephyr. And what time did you say the timestamp was? 10:40?
10:20-ish. That's what the
10:20
log on the Amtrak website that says when it went through. So it might be a few. Wait, where is this station? Is this webcam east or west of the station?
It's west of the station. So,
Okay.
yep. We have
See if
to.
I can find it here.
He would be just a minute or 2 before 10:20. Yeah. Yes, thank you, buddy. I know it's my confusion. I think that I don't know. I definitely feel like that I had some didn't have enough for lunch today or something. Well, I am not finding this guy. I know that they zip right by and you might not catch it on when scrolling through, but 10:15. Yeah, that's something else too. You know, we're always looking for more volunteers. We appreciate I found him. Here we go. We do appreciate our volunteers very much. But we are always looking for more volunteers to help run train logs, help run webcams, just do all the things that it takes to keep this place going. And that's kind of loud. We're going to turn that down. I don't know why that's so loud. Is Robert coming through the speakers? No, he's not. I've got them lined up directly. Oh, here's Amtrak. Apparently, we're not going to get that. So, Amtrak is, in fact, cruising across with a couple of P-42s this morning. Still see the venerable P-42s in Amtrak service in the long-distance trains.
Short consist today, only six cars there.
Yep, I saw that too. So, Ottumwa is our newest webcam host, and this is, I'm going to switch this back over to live. This is being hosted by Main Street Donuts in Ottumwa, Iowa. And this is looking at the BNSF Ottumwa sub. We are between the Amtrak depot and the Diamond with between the Amtrak depot and the Diamond with the CP. So the Diamond, in the direction that this camera is looking, the Diamond is about 4 blocks down that direction. And then looking to, if you were looked the other way, about 3 or 4 blocks, you would see the Amtrak depot down that direction. And this does have, there's a crossing right about there. I don't know if you can exactly make it out. And somebody, I think it was Sam, was telling me that he actually saw a CP train going across the Diamond way down there in the distance. So that surprised me a little bit, but apparently you can get a glimpse of the CP going across. And we also have an ATCS site in Ottumwa. And I know that I had gotten some questions about the ATCS when it first went up. So I am going to try to address those questions. So when I went around and site surveyed in Ottumwa, there are 4 control points right now in Ottumwa. There's North and South Rutledge, which are up on the hill. And then there's a Lawler and Ottumwa that are actually in downtown. And there was nowhere that I could find where I could monitor all 4 control points at the same time. So the solution that we arrived at was to put a site in downtown Ottumwa with this webcam that would allow us to be able to monitor the 2 downtown sites. And we're working on a second location to monitor ATCS from up on top of the hill and get the two Rutledge control points and hopefully monitor Linby when that time comes as well. That should be sometime next year.
Yeah, it'd be good to hopefully that when the new CTC on the CP goes up, it is able to be monitored. I don't think they're installing fiber optics. It seems like they're just putting in just typical signals. So that would be very useful if we could monitor like the entire CP all on ATCS once that gets up and running.
And that is the hope. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that that's a realistic possibility based on what I know right now. Anyway, so when I put in the webcam in Bellevue next week, which will actually be Tuesday of next week, I'm going to put in ATCS equipment along with it, and we're going to try to monitor the Bellevue siding and Green Island siding when that all goes live. Yep. And when I put in the ATCS equipment in Dubuque to monitor the CN, at that time I also put in radios to monitor the CP if they wire up the Dubuque siding on their side on the north side of Dubuque. Anyway, what else have you guys got interesting today to share?
We have something going through Belle Plaine and something going through Tama. Both are eastbounds.
All right. Let me figure out where my audio is coming from here. We got something. I think, oh, there it is. All right. It was from Cedar Falls. All right. So we are going to go over to pull up Belle Plaine. And let's see what is going through Belle Plaine today. Where is, aha, there we go. We have Belle Plaine. We are pulling it over. I will tell you also that Belle Plaine is on my list of places to go to try to. I'm going to put one of these sound muffling things on Belle Plaine to reduce the amount of wind noise that we get off of this camera. So, how close is our train here at Belle Plaine, or do I need to open it up and look myself?
I believe one just went through.
Oh, well, let's back up a little bit.
And then the other is now clear Tama.
Tama? Is that what you're trying to say?
Tama, sorry.
Yes. This isn't just rail fanning, this is also advanced English with pronunciation guides. Oh, no, here he is. Look at this. He has not just gone through, he is present right now. And it's a loaded coal train. Imagine that. Never see those on the UP.
Never.
How badly is he going to drag down trying to get over this hill? That's the next question. Now, Robert, I know that you're going to have to leave us here pretty soon. Patrick and I are going to carry on in your stead. But any commentary you'd like to offer on the loaded coal train as we watch it roll by? Oh, I think Robert's muted. There, he had talked about having some sound, some people working in his apartment building, I think, earlier. So he may just be muted. But we're going to take this opportunity to talk about, just briefly, the Steel Highway magazine. If you'd like to help support the channel, please consider going to steel-highway.com and order the magazine, order a copy, subscribe to the magazine, but make sure and check out the steel-highway.com website where you can order a magazine. We also now have subscription options available through PayPal. I actually got my first subscriber via PayPal yesterday, so I definitely appreciate that. And if you'd like to be able to, you can really, you can support the channel, and you can kind of have the magazine on a payment plan if you want to do it that way. But to be able to have the magazine, to be able to help support the channel, those are some ways that it can be done. Very windy day here in Belle Plaine. Bump the volume down a little more. And you see how much slower this coal train is going by as opposed to when he first started across the camera. He's probably lost half of his speed now. Do we think this is going to be a one-by-one coal train? Do we think this is going to be distributed power and a doubled-up coal train? Do you have any predictions?
I'm putting no money on a one-by-one.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I had someone at my door, but I'm going to have to head off here now. But before I do head off, I'll just let you know when you're done watching this coal train, if you're interested, 260 and 261 were by the Washington camp if you wanted to hop over there next.
All right.
261 went through at 8 a.m. and 261 went through at 8 a.m. and 260 went through at 10:38. So
sounds like a let's meet to me.
Yeah. And both are really big trains, so they definitely met at Let's there.
Well, thank you, Robert. We appreciate you checking in for the first half of the show anyway.
Yeah. You guys have a good day.
Yep. We'll
You
talk to
too.
you soon.
Yeah. Yeah. See ya.
And yeah, we had a question on here about new webcams coming. We're definitely going to have a Bellevue webcam next week. Excuse me. And I think it's also worth mentioning that I have secured a new location for the Mount Pleasant webcam. And sometime here during the course of the month, it is going to be moved from the current location. We're going to set up a webcam in downtown Mount Pleasant, right across from where the Amtrak depot is. So I'm pretty excited about that move also.
I'm also very excited about that move.
Yes. Let's take a look at Washington. Since Robert brought it up, we'll go ahead and switch over to the Washington webcam right here. Excuse me. The Washington Depot webcam, which is hosted by at the former Milwaukee Road at Washington Depot. And while I'm looking for the trains to go by, I will share with you that this is also an Airbnb. If anybody is interested in going down and checking out a place where you can literally stay overnight next to the tracks, Washington is definitely the place to do that. You can get on Airbnb and look up the Washington Depot, and you will see. All right, you will see that you can.
Look, we got just an average CP consist right here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's what I was talking about, that 586. Is that excuse me, I assume he's talking about the Guttenberg detector, but I don't know that for certain. So lots of loads of CP grain here on the head end, headed for Kansas City and point south. There's a DM&E hopper. A CP hopper with the new Beaver logo on it. Yes, lots of grain on the head end of the 260 today. They both had speed restrictions this morning. I assume there's probably a slow order here in town somewhere. Maybe one of the crossings. There's a lot of crossings in downtown Washington. So it's very possible that there was some kind of a slow order going through town. I mean, you'd almost think this was a loaded grain train based on the head end. This is quite the block of loaded grain cars. And here we have some mixed manifests coming up a little further back. Let's see what's coming up next here. More CP, DM&E hoppers. Sioux Line hopper going by. So Patrick, what do you think is the rarest catch that you've found in your time for photographing trains and rail cars?
That is a really good question. I'd have to go back and look.
Nothing that particularly stands out to you? There's a
I mean,
Greeley hopper.
it kind of depends on what you define as rare, like rare for Iowa or just rare in general.
Well, why don't you just give me an example and we can try to define it for you?
Oh, let's see here.
Auto racks coming. I think these auto racks come out of Chicago and then they get added at Greenland to the 260.
And through this here,
Sounds like from the radio traffic, somebody's setting on behind this 260 and following them down to Ottumwa.
I'm looking here, and something that could be defined as rare would be this CN. I think it's a geometry train. It looks like a GP38-2WL, followed by a boxcar and a track car.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty rare catch. Oh, I see what Evan was talking about here. He was talking about the 586 local in Dubuque. They were still over in Illinois. Excuse me. Well, our 260 is picking up speed, so he must have cleared his restriction. ADM tankers, long string of ADM tankers, as a matter of fact. I believe that some of that is interchange traffic that comes off the Iowa interstate. Excuse me, steel coil or flat steel cars coming out of Ipsco. Some maintenance away equipment. Look at that. Maintenance away equipment on the flat cars in the south. Now another big chunk of auto racks. I think we're getting quite a few. Oh, there's a KCS auto rack. Soon to be a fallen flag. TFM auto rack going by there. And a few boxcars. I don't know if this is bringing up the railroad train or not. It looks like we're getting close. Yep.
Yep.
Canadian Pacific boxcars.
Let's do, we should do a poll for our audience today.
Yeah? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I was kind of thinking, do you think that the CPKC merger will go through?
Oh, interesting. I think that's kind of a foregone conclusion.
It probably is.
If we were going to ask a merger question, how about this? Why don't we ask, when the merger goes through, do you think that the CP is actually going to make their traffic predictions, their very rose-colored glasses traffic predictions that they're making?
Right, yeah.
All right. When do you think CPKC traffic predictions will materialize after the merger? Because they're talking about tripling or quadrupling the amount of trains that they're talking about running specifically between Nahant and Kansas City. All right, do you think the CPKC traffic predictions will materialize after the merger? All right, yes or no? So we have a poll out there for the we have 20 people tuned in live watching us. Hearing on Wednesday a lot of opposition from communities along the system. Yeah, that's true, but I don't think it's going to amount to actually derailing the merger, so to speak. That's a railroad pun right there. And let's go over, we're going to jump over to East Dubuque quick, and we will take a look at the 586 making his way back into Iowa. I don't think we're going to have to back up too terribly far, because apparently he just went by. And here we go. So we'll run the poll. And we have the pair of Jeeps rolling by on the 586 heading back toward Iowa in this case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many cars? 6 cars going back.
Decent.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to switch this back over to live and mute it. And we have some. Oh, the no's are actually winning. What do we have for? We have 11 votes, so it must be 6-5 in favor of no. That people do not think that their traffic predictions will materialize. Interesting. All right.
I think that traffic will certainly increase, but probably not to the extent that they've predicted.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking probably something upwards of like 15 to 20 trains a day instead of whatever they said, like 30 some.
Yeah. Oh, Evan's being a little salty now. He says, I was going to shoot 565 today, but the Canadian cab isn't leading. Sad day. All right. Let's switch back over to Guttenberg. Does anybody know if our loaded coal train has gone by Guttenberg yet? Because I have not seen him, and I don't know if he went by while we were talking. But I would like to get a roll-by of this loaded coal train with the new defect detector working. Or excuse me, with the new radio feed to be able to listen to the defect detector. But apparently, I might have too many windows open. Oh, all right, there, it's working again. I am not seeing. So I'm trying to think now. I had just left. I was just up in Guttenberg this morning, and when I was in Guttenberg, I saw the loaded coal train going by the Dubuque Junction camera. So that was probably at about, I don't know, 10:30 this morning or so. Excuse me. In which case, I think that about now is the soonest I would have expected to see it. But apparently our loaded coal train has not yet made an appearance. So, let's jump over and take a look at Mills Tower, because I know that there was a UP train lined up northbound at Mills Tower. We can go over there and see if we can identify that northbound move. We're going to go ahead and we'll turn our volume on here. And let's just back up a little bit and see if we can find, I mean, maybe this UP train hasn't even shown up yet. But I did see earlier that there was a northbound request lined up. And I'm not seeing anything yet. I suppose the intelligent thing to do would be to check the ATCS monitor again and see for sure what's going on the Waterloo sub. And sure enough, it's still UP North signal request. I did get a message that there was a southbound that went by this morning. So let's rewind a little ways and check out what this southbound was. Excuse me, going by.
After we checked this out, BICB went through West Liberty at about 12:25.
All right. So what are we doing? Three motors today. Two aces on there. Loads of lumber on the head end. Definitely makes all the appearances of a ITDM type train. Load of scrap there. And maybe some hoppers with Canadian, perhaps, going south.
Could be.
I do know that these ITDM trains, it's Itasca, Wisconsin, which is right outside of Duluth, down to Des Moines, Iowa. And they do seem to have a lot of loads of lumber on them. That's usually one of the signatures. It's all lumber that's getting interchanged from the CN to the UP at Itasca. And then they run down to get into Minneapolis. And
that is UP 8074 South, that's Depot. You talk like Todd Stevenson.
How busy the spine line is south of Des Moines. I know
Yes,
south
that
of
is
Des Moines it's only
8074 South. Roger that, nice to hear you there,
I
Blaine.
believe
Hey, you
south
take it
of Des
easy.
Moines they only run southbound, and then the northbounds go up the Falls City side near the Missouri River. Got some PP system hoppers going through.
How long are you, Blaine? Excuse me? How long are you? Really long. 9,000 feet? 9,000 feet. I take that back, 10,000.
Apparently we're rolling by a 10,000 foot train.
I'm still growing.
Golden West service boxcar that just went by. So, Southeast Iowa rail fans, I'm hoping that answers your question at least to some degree. There's also a train log here in. There's also a train log for the Mills Tower, and some of those southbound trains do end up on the Trenton sub south of Des Moines. So you can definitely check that out as well if you want to compare trains that go by Mills Tower versus what actually ends up going by south of Des Moines. Long string of tank cars here, but I don't see any. I do not see any placards on them. So I don't know if these are tank cars that have been cleaned or if there's got some other commodity in them. There's a couple of short tank cars in there next to some longer ones.
We also have, it looks like, eastbound that's about to go by the Belle Plaine cam.
Oh, another eastbound. All right.
Yeah, there was one following the first one.
Sure. Well, we'll hop over to West Liberty after we finish rolling this train by. This is the Mills Tower location, the last interlocking tower in the state of Iowa. Host is the Iowa Falls Historical Society, so they have the Mills Tower open periodically throughout the day, specifically on holiday weekends a lot of times. So if anyone's ever interested, you can always look up the Iowa Falls Historical Society to see when the Mills Tower is going to be open. And, the yeses did end up winning. We got 16 votes. We must have got a bunch of yeses in the end. I'm going to close out the poll, because we're going to be wrapping up here pretty soon. But we did get 62% in favor of yes. 16 votes total. And 62 to 37, they think that the CPKC traffic will, in fact, become exactly what the CP, or perhaps even surpass their expectations.
I think that eventually it probably will.
Right.
In like multiple years.
And I guess that's a good point. I didn't define a strict timeline for how long it would take, right? I just asked the question, so maybe that would have been a fair caveat to throw out there. Random load of lumber or paper products towards the end. We got to be getting close to the end of this thing. I know he said he was 10,000 feet, but we've rolled by a lot of train already. Excuse me.
The grain train that went through Cedar Falls is G887.
Okay. Do we know the destination for that?
I do not right now, but I can look that up.
All right. Well, otherwise maybe somebody can throw that in the comments. It wouldn't surprise me if that was a New Hartford grain train, based on the fact that he is not lined up at Mills right now. All right. Well, there's the end of our southbound UP train at Mills Tower. Switch that back to live, and then we'll go over to West Liberty and check out what the Iowa Interstate has in store for us today. So if we scroll down here, I will be looking for the West Liberty camera. There it is. We'll pull that over. And how long
So
ago did you say this was?
12:25. It was 12:25:30, just about.
Okay. Yep, I found him. Look at that. All right, let's see what the Iowa Interstate has for us today. You can hear him whistling.
If I had to make a prediction, I'm going to go with 2 GEVOs.
2 GEVOs. That is generally a pretty safe prediction on the Iowa Interstate anymore. And coming around the curve, what do we see? I guess I should say this. 2 GEVOs running elements.
Oh, pigs up front.
Oh, yeah.
If I didn't have this, I would have been out for it.
All right. Well, we can still go west line.
I could, I guess. That was a pretty short train.
BICB today. Well, I think it's going to be time for us to wrap it up. We're going to close up just a few minutes early today, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. Please make sure and check out all the previous episodes of Trackside with Tom, and make sure and go to steel-highway.com. And we appreciate everybody tuning in, and thanks for the support. And Patrick, you want to tell everybody to have a good weekend?
Yeah, everyone have a good weekend.
Yeah. And we're going to sign off, so thank you.